The UFC usually delivers with banger fights every year, but in today's video I wanted to discuss my dream fights that I have to see in 2025. I'm picking at least one fight per weight class that I'm absolutely needing to see in the year of 2025, and there's also just some random ones. Some weight classes have more because there's more exciting fights to be had. Without further ado, let's get it started with the flyweight division. Now, I don't know how the UFC has fumbled this matchup so far, but Manel Kape versus Kai Kara France, they have major beef. Manel Kape is so funny on the microphone. He's getting a shot against Brandon Royval. I don't think the fight makes much sense. I don't think he's gonna win. Sadly, I really want Manel Kape to win, but I don't think he's gonna get it done. I say after that fight, maybe book him against Kai Kara France, or if Kai Kara France gets a title shot or something like that, give him Manel Kape after he loses. This fight has some major beef. There's a lot of history behind it, and it was supposed to happen in the past. It got canceled. Let's rebook it. We need it this year. Then in the Bantamweight division, we need the rematch between Sugar Sean O'Malley and Peter Yan. Now, I'm a big Sean O'Malley fan, but I also love Peter Yan, and if I'm being honest, in the first fight, it was so razor close, and I kind of understand giving it to Peter Yan. Of course, the decision went to O'Malley. Yan is, of course, on a resurgence. O'Malley is still looking great. He just lost to Merab, but at this point, who's not. This time we need it in a 5-rounder because that fight was so close. Who knows how it would have gone if it had 2 more rounds. I honestly would lean Yan right now, but we need this fight to happen. This is a banger. 2 of the best strikers, 2 of the best fighters in the Bantamweight division. Winner gets a title shot against Merab. Then at Featherweight, I have multiple here. First, I want to start with the rematch between Diego Lopez and Movsar Evloev. Diego Lopez made his UFC debut on short notice against Movsar. Movsar was undefeated. He still is, but he was undefeated. And Diego took on the challenge and made it really exciting and honestly made it really close. Diego actually had a few chances of winning that fight. Of course, Diego has leveled up a ton since then, knocking everyone out, flying through the rankings. He's now above Movsar in the rankings. I think this is an absolute banger of a fight to put back together. I would love for this fight to happen. Diego Lopez is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, so I'd be extremely nervous for him. I could see a world where Diego knocks out Movsar Evloev, though, and that would warrant a title fight for my next dream matchup of 2025, being the winner of this fight versus Ilia Topuria. Now, I have Diego Lopez in the graphic. This could be Movsar, but I think a more exciting fight would be Ilia versus Diego. I would definitely lean Ilia to knock out Diego. You can't strike with Ilia. He's just going to kill you. And that would be my prediction, even though I love Diego Lopez. I think this would be an insane fight, and I hope it happens in 2025. Then we move to the lightweight division. We book Islam versus Arman. This fight was supposed to happen. They're sidelining Arman now. I think Arman's going to beat whoever they put him against. You have to make this fight. Islam versus Arman. Clearly the champion versus the clear number 1 contender, Arman. This would have been the best lightweight fight we've seen in a minute, and I think it would have been really competitive. I would lean Islam. It would be close, but we need to see this fight happen. This is a matchup we can't let get away from us like Tony and Khabib. Also in the lightweight division, I know people are kind of mixed on this fight, but I think Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway at lightweight would go absolutely crazy in a 5-rounder. I don't know who I'd lean. Probably Charles. I think Charles would be able to get him to the ground. Maybe sub him, or it would be a decision. And I think if this fight goes to the ground, obviously Charles has a major advantage. On the feet, it's scary because Holloway is lethal on the feet. This is a really compelling matchup to me, and I feel like they should book this now before these guys start going on a decline. Also at lightweight, just one I want to throw out there. Renato Money Moicano, he just lost to Islam in the main event. He needs to fight Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett is being rumored to fight Michael Chandler. I don't like it. I think they should do Moicano versus Pimblett, and the winner of that could maybe take on a guy like Michael Chandler. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Michael Chandler is a star. I don't think he should be getting all these fights above the rankings like he has been his whole career. I think it's about time he takes a step down in competition. Someone like a Paddy Pimblett who can take his ranking and drop Chandler way down. But you have to capitalize on Moicano versus Pimblett. Don't get me wrong, I actually think the addition of Chael Sonnen and Daniel Cormier as coaches for the Ultimate Fighter is a really interesting idea, and it's different for the Ultimate Fighter, but you had these 2 guys right here, and this would have been amazing. I would have watched this season of Tough and actually cared, just because of the coaches. Hopefully this fight happens. Paddy's been trashing Moicano online, and Moicano's retaliated back. This is a fight that needs to happen. And that leads me to my number 1 fight probably in the entire UFC. After Ilia defeats Diego Lopez inevitably, we need Islam versus Ilia. I don't think either of these guys are losing in their weight class, and I think this is the toughest matchup either of them are going to have in their career. I know people are going to say that Islam only fights featherweights. Those featherweights are so good that they kind of deserve to go up and fight Islam. Islam's beating everyone. If he beats Arman Sarukian and if Ilya keeps defending his title against someone like Volk and Mosar or Diego Lopez, this is the fight to make 100%. Take all my money. The entire card could be trash and this could be the main event. Take my money, $80. Now at welterweight, I need to explain some stuff. We have Shavkat Rakhmonov taking on Bilal Muhammad, most likely. And in that fight, I don't know who would win. I'm leaning Shavkat in my early prediction here, even though I kind of do see a world where Bilal gets that one done. Let's just say Shavkat gets it done. Then we also have JDM versus Leon Edwards. Let's say JDM gets that done. JDM would clearly be the #1 contender for the winner of Bilal versus Shavkat. My dream fight, Shavkat versus JDM. I think JDM would piece up Shavkat and knock him out. I really do. I think JDM's a future champion here. And again, this could be Bilal versus JDM. I just think a more fun, interesting matchup that people would care about more is Shavkat versus JDM. So that's why I put him here. This needs to happen for a title in 2025. Get it done. And we also cannot let Ian Machado Gary versus Colby Covington slip away from us. I see people booking Covington against lower ranked guys. Nah, we need to see this fight. It absolutely needs to happen. Ian Machado Gary actually did really well against Shavkat, and I think at this point in his career, he could beat someone like Covington. I really do, and I think it would get him back on track. But if Covington beat Gary, it would be hype, and Covington would be so back. This is a fight that needs to happen. The build-up would be insane. Ian Gary would get dunked on at the press conference. He would probably start crying, and his wife would have to help him. Then at middleweight, we need some explanation. Dricus is facing Sean Strickland. I think Dricus is going to win that fight. This could be Sean Strickland in this picture, just so you know. But either way, the winner of Dricus versus Strickland versus Khamzat Chimaev, obviously for the title. This is a fight that needs to happen, and I'm sure it will happen in 2025. Hopefully Khamzat doesn't pull out of the fight or something. This is a banger fight, and I think Khamzat's going to be the champion by the end of 2025, which is pretty crazy. I don't really have to talk about this one much. I think it's going to happen. This is one of the safer ones on here. Now for light heavyweight, there was not really one that stuck out to me. We already are getting Alex versus Magomed. That would have been one I put on here. For contenders though, I think we rebooked Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. I think this would be a banger. I don't think Jamal looked too impressive against Yuri, although he did hold his own. He did good in the second round. Besides that, he kind of got lit up. And based on what we saw from Khalil against Alex Pereira, I think Khalil would probably Jamal Hill. Subscribe. I think this fight would be honestly really entertaining. I think Khalil's a really good striker and Jamal's obviously dangerous. This would be a good test for Khalil to try to get him higher up in the rankings again and rebuild his name to get a possible rematch against someone like Alex. Then obviously at heavyweight, everyone's fight to make. John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. We need John Jones to stop running away like the duck he is and fight Tom Aspinall and get knocked out in the first round by him. I really don't see this fight going on for much longer than a round. I think Tom would kill John Jones. I'm not going to lie. At this point in their careers, I think Tom Aspinall easily beats John Jones, and I really need to see it. Give him however much money he wants. It would sell so many pay-per-views. It would be such a good build-up. We need to see it happen. Tom Aspinall, we need justice for him. And you know what? When Tom Aspinall knocks out John Jones, and he's the undisputed champion, maybe let him defend the belt against someone like Cyril Gane, Volkov, whoever you want to throw in there, Jailton Almeida. If Pereira keeps doing his thing at light heavyweight, although I don't think this matchup would be very close, I love the idea of letting Pereira move up to heavyweight to try to become a 3-time champion in 3 different weight classes. I think that would be insane, although I think Tom Aspinall smokes Alex Pereira with his wrestling and just all-around good skill set. I think Tom Aspinall is just better than Pereira and could knock out someone like Pereira. This would be the most insane visual to see these two guys standing across from each other in the octagon. I wouldn't mind this fight happening at all if Pereira can defend his title one more time against Magomed Ankalaev. And if they want to throw someone else in there, maybe like a rising Carlos Olberg and Pereira beats him, we could see Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira for the heavyweight title. I think that would be insane. Maybe it'll happen. This is like more of a dream fight, but we'll see. And my last one at heavyweight, Tom Aspinall versus Shamil Gaziev. I don't need to explain this one. Moving on. All right, I have one woman's fight. Now we could talk about something like Raquel Pennington. Not Raquel Pennington. Jesus, who's the champion? Juliana Pena. How could I forget, guys? Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. Do I care, though? No. Even Amanda Nunes coming back to take on Kayla Harrison. That could be cool, but I don't care. If Wei Li beats Tatiana Suarez, maybe Valentina versus Wei Li. But this is the fight I'm trying to see. A triple threat match between Norma Dumont, Mackenzie Dern, and Aileen Perez. Thanks for watching.